Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of The Sauce. We are looking to continue our winning streak tonight. NBA games are about to start. Pac-12 championship starts in about an hour. A lot of action tonight. But first, we're talking Big 12 championship here, and this is huge with a lot of playoff implications. We got Oklahoma State on one side. We got Baylor on the other side. Let's bet. Welcome to The Sauce. The Sauce. The Sauce. Hey, get the sauce. All right, like I said, OK State versus Baylor. The line is Oklahoma State minus 4.5, and early on the action is all over the pokes here. 89% of the money on Oklahoma State. This is as of Monday morning. Yo, so check this out. The books start moving this line, right? Moves from 4.5 to 5, up to 5.5. And even when the money swings back towards Baylor, the books continue to move the line. We're all the way up to Oklahoma State minus 6 now. This is as of Friday night. The books are showing us their hand here. They want us to bet Baylor bad. So let's cap this game. If you subscribe to this channel, you already know the first step. We're running the numbers through the spreadsheet. According to the analytics, the line for this game should be Oklahoma State minus 7.96. So about a 1 or 2 point lean on Oklahoma State there. All right, let's run through a quick breakdown of this game, and we'll start with some defensive analytics because Oklahoma State's are just nuts. Third in the entire country in total yards allowed. In the entire country, not just the Big 12, the entire country. Third behind just Georgia and Wisconsin. This defense is official. They're 6th in passing yards allowed. I think they're like 5th in opponents' rushing yards per carry allowed. 5th in total rushing yards allowed. They're in the top 5 or 6 in every single category in the country. It's more interesting to say the country because they're clearly in first place in the Big 12 in all these categories by a mile. So before we even dig in and really start to find the angles in this game, we already know off the bat that Baylor's offense is going to have an amazing game to move the ball and score in Oklahoma State's defense. Speaking of Baylor's offense, you know that they might be without their quarterback in this game? Yes, Gerry Bohanon did not play last week. He's still listed as questionable, dealing with a hamstring injury. Now, there are better players on Baylor. They got Ika, that defensive tackle. They got a safety named Petrie. Those are both NFL defensive players. But as far as who's the most important player to this Baylor team, honestly, it's their quarterback, Gerry Bohanon. And like I said, he's dealing with a hamstring injury. So even if he returns and plays in this game, we have to assume that he's not going to be 100%, especially in the mobility department. And that's huge because he's got 300 rushing yards and 9 rushing touchdowns on the season. His mobility is a huge part of Baylor's offense. So what can we honestly expect out of this Baylor offense without their quarterback, or with a severely limited version of their quarterback against possibly the best defense in the country, top Georgia? So let's say probably the second best defense in the country. This is a terrible, terrible recipe for Baylor here. Now, let's be fair here. This Oklahoma State offense is nothing special. I mean, it's not bad, but it's nothing that blows you away. We all know Spencer Sanders has had turnover problems his entire career there at Oklahoma State. But I want to take you back. We're going to rewind back to October 2nd, the first meeting between Oklahoma State and Baylor. Spencer Sanders throws 3 interceptions in that game. 3. He throws 3 picks to Baylor, and they still win by double digits? I mean, come on. I'm trying to find the angle here for a Baylor bet, and I'm just not seeing it. So these teams meet about 2 months ago. Spencer Sanders throws 3 picks, Oklahoma State's worst nightmare, and they still win by double digits comfortably? Yo, it's clear who the better team is here. This conversation's over. I already know who I'm betting. I'm sure of it. So I'm not going to keep rolling this video any longer than it has to be. I'm not crazy about laying 5.5 or 6 points in a conference championship game with a defensive team. Trust me, I don't love it, but there's nothing, and I mean nothing. I'm seeing nothing here that points me to a Baylor bet having any value. So I'm on the pokes, man. Give me Oklahoma State minus 6, and yes, this will be on the final ticket. Speaking of which, final ticket with all 8 of my picks for the college football for conference championship Saturday. I promised on the Chop Sports podcast that I would go 8-0. Championship college games coming up. I'm going 8-0 on Saturday.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Right
here live on the show on a Chop Sauce Wednesday, we have an 8-0.
We'll see if I can keep that. But all 8, they will be posted on KyleKirms.com. around 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. Also, if there's any crazy last minute changes, injury updates, money shift, line movement, anything like that, if you want to find out what's going on with Gerry Bohanon, as soon as I hear it, I will put it on my Twitter, Instagram story, and Facebook. So be sure to check one of those 3 platforms before you place your bets. Conference championships Saturday, but first we got Friday. So hopefully by the time you're watching this, we're already up, having a great Friday. I hope so. We've been hot recently. Let's keep it rolling. Let's have a great Saturday. I'll talk to you on Twitter.